Good morning. Today I will recite a poem from Thomas Stearns Eliot. First, I will tell you about the poet a little bit, then I will start reciting his poem. Thomas Stearns Eliot, 26 September to 1888 to 4 January 1965, was born in Missouri, but he moved to England at the age of 25 and became a British citizen. Eliot, in his childhood, struggled from a congenital double inguinal hernia. He could not participate in many physical activities and thus was prevented from socializing with his peers. As he was often isolated, his love for literature developed. Once he learned to read, the young boy immediately became obsessed with books, favoring tales of savage life, the Wild West, or Mark Twain's thrill seeking Tom Sawyer. Eliot's friend Robert Sencourt comments that the young Eliot would often curl up in the window seat behind an enormous book. From 1898 to 1905, Eliot attended South Smith Academy, the boys' college preparatory division of Washington University, where his studies included Latin, ancient Greek, French, and German. He began to write poetry when he was 14 under the influence of Edward Fitzgerald's translation of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. He is known for his poem, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock and The West Land. He was also known for seven plays, particularly Murder in the Cathedral. In 1948, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. Eliot wrote the cat poems in the 1930s and included them under his assumed name Old Possum. In letters to his godchildren, Eliot loved cats and owned many during his life. He was fond of giving them peculiar names such as Jelly Lodum, Pettipaws, Whiskas, and George Pushdragon. Skimbleshanks is a character in Andrew Lloyd Webber's 1981 musical Cats, which is based on Eliot's book. The character is portrayed as a bright and energetic orange tabby cat who lives and works on the night mails. Now I will start reciting the poem. I hope you find it very interesting as well as humorous. Skimbleshanks, the Railway Cat by T.S. Eliot. There's a whisper, there's a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night mail's ready to depart, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? We must find him or the train can't start. All the guards and all the porters and the station master's daughters, they are searching high and low, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? For unless he is very nimble, then the night mail just can't go. At 11:42, then the signal's nearly due, and the passengers are frantic to a man. Then Skimble will appear and he will saunter to the rear. He's been busy in the luggage van. He gives one flash of his glass green eyes, and the signal goes, all clear, and we are off at last for the northern part of the northern hemisphere. You may say that by and large it is Skimble who is in charge of the sleeping car express. From the driver and the guards to the bagman playing cards, he will supervise them all, more or less. Down the corridor he paces and examines all the faces of the travelers in the first and the third. He establishes control by a regular patrol, and he would know at once if anything occurred. He'll watch you without winking, and he sees what you are thinking. and it's certain that he doesn't approve of hilarity and riot, so the folk are very quiet. When Skimble is about and on the move, you can play no pranks with Skimble Shanks. He is a cat that cannot be ignored. So nothing goes wrong on the Northern Mail when Skimble Shanks is aboard. Oh, it's very pleasant when you have found your little den with your name written up on the door, and the berth is very neat with a newly folded sheet, and there's not a speck of dust on the floor. There is every sort of light you can make it dark or bright. There's a handle that you turn to make a breeze. There's a funny little basin you are supposed to wash your face in, and a crank to shut the window if you sneeze. Then the guard looks in politely and will ask you very brightly, "Do you like your morning tea weak or strong?" But Skimble's just behind him and was ready to remind him, for Skimble won't let anything go wrong. And when you creep into your cozy berth and pull up the counterpane, you ought to reflect that it's very nice to know that you won't be bothered by mice. You can leave all that to the railway cat, the cat of the railway train. In the watches of the night, he is always fresh and bright. Every now and then he has a cup of tea, with perhaps a drop of scotch, while he is keeping on the watch, only stopping here and there to catch a flea. You were fast asleep at Crewe, and so you never knew that he was walking up and down the station. You were sleeping all the while he was busy at Carlisle, where he greets the station master with elation. But you saw him at Dumfries, where he speaks to the police. If there's anything they ought to know about, when you get to Gallowgate, there you do not have to wait, for Skimbleshanks will help you to get out. He gives you a wave of his long brown tail, which says, "I'll see you again." He will meet without fail on the midnight mail, the cat of the railway train. Thank you.